Welcome to another edition of Inside Stuff with me, Martins Oloja. Today's topic is Southwest political leaders and federal roads. And this is based on my experience in the last 2 weeks. I've been traveling by road around Southwest. I'm a stakeholder, I'm from Southwest. So I can comment on what I have seen and what I have not seen. It's really a symbol of shame that we are suffering in Southwest because we do not have good roads. Politicians are making noise, they are speaking too many languages, but language of development is not part of them. Critical infrastructure that people actually need, just good roads to get around, good roads to get to the farms, good roads to transport farm products, good roads just to move on, good roads to go for Christmas and even New Year celebrations, good road. But Southwest is a symbol of shame, despite sophistication that we talk about, despite the fact that 24 years ago we began this journey with a democracy through a retired general, Olusegun Obasanjo, who was there for 8 years. And then, again, we just ended 8 years of another democracy with a Southwesterner as works minister, Baba Tunde Fashola. And it's really very shameful that as I speak here, there is no good road from Lagos to Abeokuta. There is no link road, good road. They are all federal roads from Abeokuta to Ibadan. Yes, they said they have completed Lagos-Ibadan Express way now after so many years. But when you get to Ibadan, what do you do? Where do you go from there? When you get to Ibadan, you still cannot rush to Osogbo, to even pass through Ibadan. It's a problem. Oh, there is a railway from Lagos to Ibadan. When you get down from Ibadan, where do you go from there? It's difficult to access Osogbo from Ibadan. So it is difficult to access Ekiti from Osogbo. If you want to access Ekiti from Akure, it's difficult. You want to go from Ado Ekiti, carved out of Akure. Ado Ekiti is the capital of Ekiti State, and Akure is the capital of Ondo State. Ekiti State was carved out of Ondo State. There is no access road. You can't rush through Ikere and some other routes there. We have had big governors, prominent governors, but these former governors of some of these states, they have been part of the ruling party, but nothing has happened, and it's really very shameful. I also traveled last weekend from Lagos to Ondo, and it's really very shameful from Shagamu interchange to Ijebu-Ode, from Ijebu-Ode to Ondo area. In other words, Shagamu Ore road is terrible. The most shameful of it is Shagamu to Ijebu-Ode. It's really terrible. This is the axis of a former vice president, Professor Osibajo. It's really curious to ask what happened in 8 years. They released money, they got sukuk, they did all sorts of things. The vice president and Western Nigeria politicians, what happened to them? We had a vice president for 8 years. We had a works minister for 8 years from the same Southwest, yet not one federal road can be said to be completed in a way that we will say, look, from Lagos to Abeokuta, no good road. From Lagos through Ikorodu to Ijebu-Ode, failed road. You can't get anywhere. What is the problem with democracy? Do people in Western Nigeria really need democracy? That's a question, and the answer is blowing in the wind. So where is the dividend of democracy that anyone can talk of in Southwest in 24 years? 24 years of locusts, we can say. The 24 years that locusts have eaten. Obasanjo was there for 8 years as president of Nigeria. He used to be an Ota person from Ota to Abeokuta. The road is the most terrible. So how do we deconstruct democracy in the last 24 years in Southwest? So the buck stops at the table of politicians and political leaders from Southwest. How do they do this? This is how they allocate values in the democracy. Caucus leaders, Southwest leaders in House of Representatives or the Senate, they normally come together to say these are the projects we would like the president or whoever to put in the budget. How many meetings have they held? How many meetings have they held? How many requests have been thrown out or declined by a sitting president in the last 24 years concerning all these federal roads in Southwest? I'm concerned with, because it was really stressful traveling by road from Lagos to Akoko, where I delivered a convocation lecture. Even Abuja is not far from Lagos. By the time you get to Akure, Abuja is very, very close. You get to Kogi and there you are, but no road. You want to fly, there is no flight. To even one-way flight now is more than 200,000. So if we have good roads, who would like to get to the airport? We don't want to know where the airports are located. But our leaders in Southwest have been flying over all these bad roads. It is terrible. It's shameful. It's a blight on democracy. We feel that it is pitiful that Southwest political leaders need to answer some questions on what they have brought to Southwest in terms of critical infrastructure, road infrastructure in the last 24 years. It's very shameful. We will continue with this discussion some other time because it is critical that we need to ask them questions. If you have any questions concerning this, you want to contribute to this, go to the comments section. I wish our listeners, our viewers, compliments of the season. Until we meet again next week, it's bye for now from me, Martins Oloja.